to immigrant communities across the country bracing for an ICE crackdown to kick into high gear now. Those deportation raids sparking new protests overnight. ABC's Clayton Sandell is in our Los Angeles bureau with that story. Clayton, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Those raids are expected to kick off this morning, but ICE says what it calls enforcement surges focused on fugitives happen every day, including an operation that just wrapped up in San Diego with the arrest of 20 people. But now mayors in some of the targeted cities say what President Trump is doing now is a political stunt, spreading real fear through immigrant communities coast to coast. Across the country, the Trump administration crackdown is sparking protests as federal ICE agents begin an operation reportedly looking to arrest and deport up to 2,000 undocumented immigrants in major U.S. cities.
We are really specifically looking for bad players, but we're also looking for people that came into our country not through a process. They just walked over a line. They have to leave.
Close the camps!
Emotions are running hot following protests at a Tacoma migrant detention center. Police shot and killed a man armed with a rifle. Officers say he tried to use devices to set fire to the building and cars.
I don't know what his motivation was or why anyone would try to set a concrete building on fire.
The raids are something candidate Trump promised supporters during the election.
Within ICE, I am going to create a new special deportation task force.
But big city mayors who say local cops won't be helping ICE agents believe the president is playing the worst kind of politics, the kind that could break families apart.
Disrupting families who are just here trying to live their life, that's not who we are or should be as Americans.
My message to Washington is use our resources to go after the dangerous criminals that we need to all find. We want to get those sharks out of the ocean, not a bunch of guppies.
Even legal immigrants like Luz Martinez worry.
We're afraid that we'll be separated from our loved ones.
Advocacy groups are now leading protests and making sure undocumented immigrants know their rights.
People need to be prepared and know that they do not have to open the door. They do not have to let ICE officers inside.
And this morning, many churches are offering people sanctuary from ICE agents, and immigrant rights groups are mobilizing attorneys and setting up hotlines to offer legal advice to anyone caught up in the sweeps. Dan?
Clayton, thank you very much. Let's bring in ABC News Chief White House Correspondent Jonathan Karl, who's going to be hosting This Week later this morning. John, good morning. Critics are saying that this is a political stunt, as Clayton was saying, but you cover the White House every day. I would imagine the president and the people around him think actually here the politics play well for them.
Well, there's no question, and in two sense here. First of all, the president, as you heard Clayton mention in his piece there, campaigned on being tough on the immigration laws, specifically on aggressively deporting those who are in the country illegally. And also, they're looking to create a deterrent for more migrants to come into the United States by sending the message, even if you get in, you may face deportation. But, Dan, there's a reality here that Donald Trump has actually deported considerably fewer people than Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush. The numbers just don't bear out what he's talking about, a massive wave of deportations. We'll see what happens beginning today. The numbers that we've heard from ICE, 2,000 people targeted. That, again, is considerably smaller numbers than what we saw during the last of the last 5 presidential administrations. He is the lowest in terms of deportation.
Let's talk about another big political story this morning, and what will be a political story for quite a while now. The Democrats running for president. I think there are about 75,000 of them.
Roughly,
at this point, you've got 2 of them on the show this morning. The newest entrant, a billionaire by the name of Tom Steyer, and then Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar. We're months away from the caucuses in Iowa, but still, some people are saying, like, we've got a top 5, and everybody below that probably can't crack the top 5. So what's your view? Can somebody like Steyer or Klobuchar, can they make a move still?
I mean, look, it's still early. It's very difficult. This is an extremely crowded field. Joe Biden has been consistently at the top, but has some real vulnerabilities. We're still at the point where anything can happen. And Dan, Tom Steyer is a real long shot here. Another political novice jumping into the race. But he is saying he is going to spend $100 million of his own money. That, Dan, is real money.
Yes, and it might buy you a few points in the polls. We'll see
might.
how it goes. John Carl, always a pleasure to speak with you, my friend. And I want to remind everybody, John has a big show this morning. He's going to go one-on-one with Trump immigration official Ken Cuccinelli. Plus, as mentioned, he will chat with two of the Democrats running for president, the aforementioned billionaire activist Tom Steyer, as well as Senator Amy Klobuchar. It's all coming up on This Week right here on ABC.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.